Hi, we're at the compost pile at the Punzi Grange, and I'm going to show you now how to compost. Compost is known as brown gold, and that's because it's one of the most valuable commodities in the garden, and you can make it yourself for nothing. So let's come over here and take a look at my compost pile, which is a 3-bin composter. The first bin has the raw material that you start out with, and you can see here the materials that I can compost. You can compost paper, you can compost old stems, grass, any kind of cuttings, anything that's organic. You don't want to do meat or anything that's animal products because that'll smell, but anything else, even eggshells, will work. And when you add things into this first section, what you're going to want to add is anything that's organic, but you want to keep an eye on the nitrogen level and the carbon level. Now the high nitrogen products are grasses, anything that's green. High carbon products are anything that's brown, like leaves or sawdust. Now if you don't have enough nitrogen to carbon, it'll be really slow. And if you're patient, that's okay. You could put a pile of sawdust and in 5 years you'll have compost. But if you want to go faster, you're going to want to add more nitrogen. Now suppose you do have something that's high in carbon, you want to make it burn faster or compost faster, what you'll do is add a nitrogen fertilizer, and I prefer things like cottonseed meal or blood meal, something high in nitrogen that's organic. So you add that in, and the temperature is very important. The temperature that you want to get the compost to go to is between 95 and 130. You might be thinking, how does it get to 95 or 130 degrees when it's only maybe 60 degrees out? Well, those are the bacteria that are breaking down the compost. And they get in there and they create a temperature. And when they have all the nutrients, the nitrogen, the carbon they need, they generate heat. But they also need air. So you will want to turn the compost. So here we have a compost turner. It's one way, or you could do it with a shovel or a spade or a pitchfork. This one bends as it goes in and then pulls out. So we're going to take a look and see how that works. Go down and in, and then we pull up. And you can see it's pulling up. And we pull up, and it mixes in all our goodies. Now, after it gets this phase is almost ready to go into the next pile. As it starts to break down, you don't see a lot of green. Then it comes into the second bin, which is the second phase. And let's take a look at the second phase. You can see now there's less green material. There's a lot more brown material, but there's still some pieces that haven't fully decomposed, some that haven't been chopped up too much. So what I do here is I store it here until it gets to this point. Now there's some good stuff in here. You're starting to see compost now. So let me get out there, and you can see we're starting to see some compost. So what I do at this phase, when this is ready, and this is ready to go to the final phase, is I take it, and once you get around this side, and we're going to show you how I screen it right through here. And you can see I can just screen it right through there, and only the small particles come through. And then what you're left with is the brown gold. I want to take a look at this brown gold. Get you a nice scoop. Look at that brown gold. And that's ready to go into your garden. Now, remember, compost isn't finished. People think it's done. You can see there's still little particles of wood in there, but this is good stuff, full of nutrients, ready for your garden. Now, if you're composting, you may want to be elaborate and build something like I did, which is a 3-bin composter. You can see we have sliding boards that go in as the compost gets higher, and there's some nails here so that when you put the board down, there's a little bit of space, and the space allows air to get in. And also you can see it's grooved out. Now, and on the outside we have chicken wire. So the chicken wire holds it in and still allows some air to get in and circulate, because oxygen is very important in the compost. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go to all this trouble. You could just make piles. You could make 3 separate piles and turn them, or you could take the chicken wire and just make hoops. It's as simple as that. You don't have to go to all this trouble, but I like to because I'm the horticulture guy. So until next time, live long and garden.